Have you ever stopped to think about what your Mac actually knows about you? It's a really good question to ask. You know, Apple is well known for its focus on privacy, but a lot of the features that make our lives so much easier, well, they work by collecting data. So let's take a calm, clear look at that relationship. Our goal here is really simple. It's just to give you the information you need to feel aware, to feel calm, and ultimately to feel in control of your own digital privacy. This isn't about creating fear. It's about giving you the facts. All right, so here's how we're going to walk through this. First, we'll talk about the big picture idea of the quiet observer. Then, we'll get into the specifics of how your Mac collects data. We'll look at a concrete, real-world example. After that, and this is the important part, we'll cover how you can protect yourself. And finally, we'll talk about finding the right balance for you. So, what's really going on inside your Mac? I like to think of macOS as a kind of silent partner. It's always there in the background, working to make everything feel seamless and easy. But that convenience is part of a trade-off, and that trade-off involves your data. So here's what we mean by quiet observer. You know all those amazing features we love? Like having our photos and files just magically appear on all our devices? Or getting smart suggestions from Spotlight before we even finish typing? Well, they're all powered by data. For them to work, your Mac has to learn your habits and your routines. It's not a bad thing, it's just a trade-off you should be aware of. Okay, so how does this data collection actually happen? Let's pull back the curtain a little and see exactly what kind of information is being gathered in the background. Your Mac is pretty much constantly gathering little bits of information. For example, if an app crashes, it might send a diagnostic report back to Apple to help fix it. When you use Maps for directions, it uses your location. When you talk to Siri, your voice requests are processed. Even your Spotlight searches and how you use your apps are noted. Every little interaction is a piece of a larger puzzle. And here's the part that ties it all together. All of this information is linked to your Apple ID, so it's not just a collection of random, anonymous data points. It builds a kind of digital picture of you, your habits, your routines, and your preferences. So that's the general idea. But let's look at a very specific, real-world example that shows just how differently some of these system services can operate. A few years ago, security researchers found something pretty surprising. They discovered that some of Apple's own system services were designed to bypass firewalls and even VPNs. Now, what does that mean? It means that even if you were using tools to protect your privacy, some data could still be sent directly to Apple's servers. Okay, hearing all that, you might be wondering, so what can I do? Well, the good news is you're not powerless here. Not at all. Let's walk through some simple, practical steps you can take to protect yourself. Ready to take back a little more control? Here are 5 things you can do right now. First, just open up your system settings and head over to Privacy and Security. Take a slow look through everything in there. You might be surprised. Second, think about what you actually need to sync with iCloud. Maybe sensitive work files or personal documents can just stay on your computer. Third, if you don't really use Siri, you can turn off its suggestions and analytics. Fourth, take a minute to manage your app permissions. Does that game really need access to your location? And finally, if you want to get more advanced, you can use a firewall application to see and control all the network traffic going in and out of your Mac. It really all comes down to this simple principle. Review, decide, and control. Take the time to review your settings. Make a conscious decision about what you want to share, and then take steps to control it. You're the one in the driver's seat. Ultimately, there's no single right answer here. This is all about finding the balance that feels right for you. It's a personal choice. Think of it like this. On one side, you have maximum convenience. Automatic syncing, smart suggestions, location-based services, everything just works without you thinking about it. On the other side, you have maximum privacy, keeping files local, disabling tracking, and manually approving everything. Most of us will land somewhere in the middle. The choice is yours. So this brings us to the real question you have to ask yourself. How much convenience are you willing to trade for a little more privacy? There's no right or wrong answer. It's just about what makes you feel comfortable and secure with your technology. The goal of this isn't to make you afraid of your Mac. It's simply about understanding how it works. Awareness is protection. When you know what's happening, you can make informed choices. And if you stay alert, you stay safe.
Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay aware, and maybe share this information with your friends and family.